So this is a quick video on how to set up the HEQ5 Pro mount, and I think the EQ6 and the EQ6R Pro are going to be very similar, but I just want to do a quick sort of process video as to what I do to set this up. So if it's useful for anybody, that'll be good. What I've done on my terrace up here in Uttarakhand is I've actually marked the places where the tripod legs sit, so that every time I'm not wasting time to actually find what the actual north is, and it's also marked out over there. I tried using these vibration suppression pads, but I realized that it was making the uh, entire setup a little unstable because it has these three tiny legs in it, so I didn't really find any use for it. But then I'll quickly do a setup and let's see how this goes. So this is roughly north aligned, and the next most important thing is to actually level your mount. I have a 3-axis leveler, so just to quickly check all 3 axes, they seem fine. Yep, that's good enough. I've actually done this exercise quite a few times, so if you see the extensions over here, they're already adjusted, so I know exactly, I've already leveled it quite a few times before, so not much time is required right now, but otherwise give yourself at least 2 to 3 minutes to actually level this. So the next step is to actually place the mount head on this, on the tripod. And then you screw on the base. So now the mount has been fixed and the weight has been added, and it's always very important to add the weight, because in case your clutches are open and if you put the scope first and don't put the weight, then there's a chance that your scope will just swing and crash into the mount. So always put the weight first and then the telescope. And this is my Vixen ED81S2 refractor. I always put it right up in the front because it's going to be back heavy with the camera on it. I've already sort of pre-installed this on my Canon 70D. This is the power adapter so that I don't use a battery, and this is an L eyepiece diagonal in which I have a double crosshair eyepiece, and with this what I can do is I can just simply flip the mirror and it becomes a pass-through for imaging, and then if I flip it up, I have the double crosshair lit up in there, which actually helps in alignment. So we'll just fix this next. Next I'll be attaching the dew heating strip to the telescope. And this is the auto guiding setup that I'm going to test out tonight. This is a Skywatcher finder scope on which I have installed a Logitech C270 webcam, and it's got PVC pipes in there for spacing. And what I've done is last night I actually locked down the focus because the front is still adjustable on this particular finder scope, and tonight I'll see if it's able to pick up stars and guide. And for locking down the focus I actually used a glue gun, and that also comes off very easily later on in case you need to change things around. And the bracket for the Finder scope actually came with that Skywatcher 8-inch that you see at the back, and surprisingly that fits perfectly into this guide scope bracket, or rather this is actually a red dot finder bracket on my Vixen scope, but it fits in perfectly over there. Yep. And this USB cable will actually go into the computer, which will hopefully pick up stars and send signals to the computer, which will then send signals back to the mount for auto guiding. And this is the DIY dew heating strip that I've made. I had an RCA cable with me, and it is just like the RCA cable that came with my DueKnot dew heater strip, and both actually fit in perfectly into the dual channel dew heater that I've got. So this is the dual channel DueKnot dew heater that I use, and what I'll be doing in that is just fixing the RCA cable here, and the RCA from this also goes into the same side. I'm using only one channel, I don't want to use both. I always put cables through these so that in case if anything falls off, then it won't really go crashing into the ground. And that's a good idea, so that even if things move around in the dark, they don't really fall and it doesn't really affect your alignment that much. And then next I'll be attaching the hand controller, and that's a very simple process. You just place it over there, and the hand controller actually, the cable clicks into place over here. And then finally the adapter for the mount, which also I make the cable go through it once, so if God forbid it falls anywhere at night, there is no, it doesn't create much of a mess. Then this is the Canon's cable to actually connect the computer to the camera, which goes in right about here. And because the cable was small, I ordered this Amazon Basics extension cable. It's actually quite long. I don't think I'll need that kind of a length. And if you see this, it's always a good idea wherever you have joints to actually tie them together and then make a joint, so that they don't get ripped apart at night, or you don't trip over them, or at least keep them in a way where it's not easy for them to come off. Otherwise, if it comes off, then again you have to go about fixing all the connections at night. And there are two options. One is if you want to connect your mount to the computer, you get these, I think this is I'm forgetting what the number is, but it's basically a USB to serial, and then a serial to the connector that actually clips into your hand controller. And this is what I have actually been using till now, but what I want to try tonight is I've actually got a Cisco cable, which is a direct, I think RJ45 to a USB, which will completely rid the need of using a hand controller. And instead of this, I will probably just clip this in over here, and this goes directly then into the computer, and the mount in the computer should hopefully speak to each other directly. Yeah, I tried it last night, it didn't really work. I'm just gonna try and see what goes wrong over there, and then see what needs to be done. That's basically the setup. And then now I will get the laptop out and connect everything, and I've done a boot camp on my MacBook Pro, so I don't know if I'll get time to try that out tonight, but tonight I might just go with Windows to just see how everything works natively on a native Windows machine, and then perhaps tomorrow night try something with the Mac, with Windows on the boot camp. But yeah, basically that's it. And then once the entire setup is done and nothing else is going to come onto this, now it's important to actually do the balancing of the entire setup. Yep, this is all well balanced. Yeah, so that's basically it. And now to connect the computer, wait for the sun to go down, and then start with the polar alignment routine, and then see how it goes from here. Thanks.